everyone, and welcome to Candy Lives a Life. And today I thought that I would give a life update. As you know, life isn't a bed of roses, and it's not always what it seems. So I thought that I would actually talk about the things that have been happening behind the scenes and also talk about the real reason that I actually came to Brunei. So, where do I start? I think I'll start with. Okay, let's start here. So, last year, October, our family received some really unexpected, like shocking bad news. And that was that my mom received a diagnosis of breast cancer. And let me tell you, it shocked me. I mean, it would have shocked anyone. It's cancer, right? But I didn't expect it because you know what? This was the healthiest member of our family, someone who's taken care of herself. We don't have a family history of cancer. And so it came out of the blue. And you know what? The funny thing is, despite my mom being a doctor and me being a doctor, it doesn't make a difference. I think when it happens to you, it's completely different. And when it happens to your loved one as well. So we decided that we would travel. I mean, I would travel to Brunei and I would be with my mother as she goes through her treatment, and my the rest of my family is holding the fort in India at the moment. So you know, it's let me just say that the range of emotions that I have experienced during this time from October to January, like, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and I came here towards the end of October, and in the beginning of November, her surgery was scheduled. She underwent a mastectomy, and she recovered well. She recovered well, and she had one of the best teams here. She recovered well, and then she has gone through 2 cycles of chemotherapy. We've just gone through the second cycle of chemotherapy. We started chemo in December, and so we're heading to 2 more cycles of chemotherapy, and hopefully no more if everything is okay, all the results are okay. And after that, she has to get radiation as well. And it's been eye-opening, it's been challenging, it's been crazy, it's been a whirlwind, and sometimes I don't know where I've been. Sometimes I really don't know where I've been in all of these moments, but I think that I made it through to this point. So 100%, cancer is something that's extremely hard for the person going through it. And I know that my mom had it the worst. She had it the worst. And I have a newfound admiration for anyone who has gone through surgery and chemotherapy because of, and especially like battling cancer. You know, anyone who's battling cancer and who's gone through chemotherapy, I mean, newfound admiration, because the amount of willpower to go through the side effects of chemotherapy is no joke. I think chemotherapy is something that literally strips the vitality of a person. It brings them to the lowest state physically and mentally. And watching your loved one go through that is just, I think it's just very difficult to watch, you know. And it's hard, you know. It's hard on the person and it's hard on the caregiver as well. And me entering into the role of being a caregiver, I've learned a lot of things in these past couple of months, you know. And the one of which is that, you know, I always have to remind myself that I'm not going through this, and I always have to advocate for what's best for her, in terms of asking her, what do you think is the best for you? What is the best decision for you? It's not about me enforcing what I think is best on her. So when it comes to like what kind of surgery she wants, whether she wants a radical or conservative surgery, whether she wants to go for chemotherapy, whether she wants to continue all 4 cycles, these are times when I've realized that I can only encourage her. I will always have to advocate for her best interests and not really like mine. So that's something that it's something that I had to be conscious about. It's not really me enforcing my decisions on her. The second thing is, like, I think as a caregiver, the amount of self-regulation and discipline that you need to have is immense. Like, it would have I understood this. I was aware of the fact that if I broke down, if I showed any like sign of like grief or weakness, I knew that she wouldn't be able to go through. She was keeping a strong front, and if she saw me as her daughter break down, I mean, I don't think she would have been able to handle that. So I had to make sure that I had my emotions in check. I had to basically like make sure it's strong for her during the times that she needed it. You know, when she was going for the surgery, when she was going through the effects of chemotherapy, I had to do a lot of taking care of myself. You know, at times I felt guilty. I felt guilty for taking care of my own needs. You know, I felt guilty for asking for my needs, you know, in terms of like anything, in terms of food, in terms of emotional support and things. So I had to make a space for myself so I didn't burn out. And I did burn out. There were a couple of times I did burn out, like mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I needed to find balance in those situations. And I had to find constructive ways. And man, like, it's what you have to do. You have to like be in a state where you're calm enough that you can give objective advice. And I think one of the toughest times for me during this whole ordeal and the situation was one time when the first cycle of chemo, we didn't know what to anticipate. And I think day 7 after chemo, she got really tired, and then she was like, I can't do this anymore. And watching her in that state was very difficult for me. But at the same time, I looked at her and not showing my own emotion. I had to be encouraged and be like, no, you can do this. You can do this. You're strong. You're going to go through this, and you're going to come out of this on the other side. So you become the backbone in a way. You become the unseen backbone, the moral support. And for you to be in that state, you know, to be in that state of reinforcing someone else, you have to be strong for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. I had to remind myself to like eat, eat, sleep properly, exercise, you know, have constructive outlets. This is the reason I started YouTube as well. Like, enjoy life, not to keep and to continue to enjoy life. That's a really important thing. You have to move forward, and you have to keep living every day and celebrate it. Celebrate each moment and navigate each moment to the best of your ability. So during this time, there are also certain things that have that really I value. You know, I've learned a lot of things, to value a lot of things, and the number one is to value life. Life is fleeting. Life is fleeting, and in any moment, anything can happen. So there's no point in, you know, leaving things on the back burner or trying to leave things for another day. So I realized that I need to be happy in the now. I need to be present, and I need to enjoy life to the fullest. The second thing is to value my relationships with my loved ones. Like, man, this time that I've spent with my mom has been amazing. You know, you learn to set aside differences, you learn to set aside conflicts, and you learn to focus on what's really important. And what's important is, at the end of the day, that you love them very deeply. And I do love her very deeply. I love my family very deeply. And I'm also, you know, I'm not someone who values community a lot. And I'm kind of like lone wolf. I mean, for most of the people who know me, I'm very independent. I'm a lone wolf, and I do my own thing. And it's taught me the strength of community, true community. And I have to say, we wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the strong community of family and friends that she has here. And I've realized that how people who you don't know can be a family to you. And if I start, I mean, I have to like talk about all of them, but they know who they are. And we really wouldn't have made it without them. And they've like supported us in every way. And that's what it's taught me, the value of community. And of course, the last, and I think the most important thing of all is my faith, you know, and how, despite, you know, it's crazy, despite the tribulation, despite the difficult time, I do see how the hand of God in everything. And this was the first time. Usually when I get bad news, I mean, I'm like literally the first one who's like, why has this happened to me? why has this happened to our family? But this time I just felt like, no, this was a part of a bigger picture that I wasn't seeing. And God has been faithful through all of it. And I literally, both me and my mom have this kind of strength that I can't even explain to navigate this. And like almost like we kept, like everything is taken care of. We're okay. That feeling that we're okay no matter what, we'll be able to go through everything, and that's because of God. And I think without that strength, without that relationship, and without that faith, I don't think that I could have navigated this whole ordeal. Like, I would have been a mess. That's for sure. And to have the discernment, the wisdom, and also the just grace in a lot of situations. So that's something also that I have learned. And at the end of the day, I made a promise to myself that I think it's time, especially being someone who has knowledge about medicine, to start advocating for various things, to advocate and to create an awareness about not only cancer, but various diseases, but especially cancer, to, if I have the knowledge and if I have the voice, to truly advocate, on whatever platform I have, and this being one of them, that while I live my life, that I also talk about these things, that I come out and have these conversations, and like as I have opened up and as I have become vulnerable in this, a lot of friends that I've lost connections with, I have opened up and talked about their own experiences with loved ones who have gone through cancer. And I realized that, wow, it's affected a lot of people. It's not just me. A lot of us have gone through this. And friends who have, encouraged me and told me that, Candy, you need to take care of yourself as a caregiver. People who've checked in on me, people who have prayed for me, people who have, in the seen and unseen, really been loved me and my family during this time. So that's these are the things that I've learned, and this is what's happening in my life. So I just want to encourage other people out there who are in a similar position where they are going through this difficult time, where they are caring for a loved one who is sick, whoever that is in your family, whatever that situation is. I'm sending you my love and my blessings, and that you are encouraged, that you do take care of yourself as well as your family, and you love them as much as you can. Enjoy the time that you have with them. So that's just me, and this is the update. And I will every so often I will do this, to be authentic, to show you that this is what it is, and this is really Candy living her life. So thank you for listening if you made it this far, and I appreciate it. And sending you lots of love from me. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day. And this is, as usual, Candy lives her life.